Good morning students, welcome to my YouTube channel English Guru Classes. Today in this video lecture, I will discuss about a poem Dust of Snow composed by Robert Frost. In this session, we would be discussing about the theme of the poem, that is communication between nature and humans, nature healing and helping with negative human emotions, and the significance of small things in life having larger significance. We would also be discussing about the central theme, that is when everything seems to be lost, an insignificant thing can elevate your mood. And during the session, we will also discuss about the use of symbols, literary, poetic devices, along with explanations, poem analysis, and vocabulary enhancement. In the end of the session, we will discuss about the question answers and exercises. Okay, now let's begin. Dust of snow. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and shaped some part of a day I had rued. This poem is composed by Robert Frost. But before we go through the explanations and analysis of the poem, let's have a look at the picture which is given here. And on the basis of this picture, I would like to put up some questions and you will have to answer. My first question is, what do you see in the picture? Answer it. What do you see in the picture? Alright. In the picture, there is a tree called hemlock tree, which is poisonous, and another one is there is a crow sitting in the tree, and here is the poet sitting under the tree. Alright. Second question is, where do you think is the poet now? Is he happy or sad? So the answer is very clear. The poet is sitting under the tree and he seems to be in pensive mood, means he is sad. Alright. Third question is, what did the crow do to the hemlock tree? The answer is given in the first stanza. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Here the answer of this question will be, the crow shook down the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Alright, now let's talk about the poet. Robert Frost, his full name was Robert Lee Frost, born on March 26, 1874 in San Francisco, California, US, and died on January 29, 1963 in Boston, Massachusetts, was the greatest American poet of the 20th century who was much admired for his depictions of the rural life of New England. His father, William Prescott Frost Jr., was a journalist. His mother, Isabel Moody Frost, was an immigrant from Scotland. Robert Frost was honored frequently during his lifetime and is the only poet to receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. In 1924, he won the first of 4 Pulitzer Prizes for the book New Hampshire, which was published in 1923. He was also awarded Pulitzer for collected poems, which was published in 1930. In 1931, a further range published in 1936, in 1937, and a witness tree, which was published in 1942, and Frost received Pulitzer Prize for this book in 1943. Alright students, now let's talk about the central idea of the poem. Sometimes question is also asked to write a central idea of the given poem. So this will help you. Let's see. The poem Dust of Snow is composed by 20th century American poet Robert Frost. In this poem, the poet highlights a simple incident of his life when a crow sitting in a hemlock tree dusted some snow particles on him, which brought a positive change in his mood and saved a great part of the day he might have ruined due to his pensive mood. Here, pensive mood means sad mood. In another words, you can say dreamily or wistfully thoughtful. Due to this small incident, the feeling of loss and regret and that of helplessness is replaced by the feeling of cheerfulness and optimism. The dust of snow falling from the insignificant hemlock tree by the crow had a great impact on the poet. So, after going through the poem, we come to the conclusion that we should be ready to see what life offers and be ready to accept any change in our life. Alright students, now let's discuss some more facts regarding this poem. This poem was published in the Pulitzer Prize winning volume of poetry, New Hampshire in 1923. It juxtaposes two fundamentals. Here juxtaposes means places side by side two fundamentals, human complexity and animal simplicity, in such a compact and symbolic form. Here complexity means the state or quality of being intricate or complicated, and compact means composed or made up of, and symbolic means serving as a symbol. Alright, Dust of Snow is only 8 lines long and seems to be the simplest of short poems. This poem deals with a trivial event. Trivial means of little value or importance. So this poem deals with a little or trivial event concerning a crow, a tree, snow and a human being. The main themes of this poem are communication between nature and humans, nature healing and helping with negative human emotions, and the significance of small natural events. Okay, now let's see next point. The opening lines of the poem reveal that the poet is in bad mood, or you can say pensive mood, and is either walking by a hemlock tree or is sitting under a tree. It's probably winter season. There's snow on the tree. An evergreen pine called a hemlock, which is a poisonous tree with small white flowers, and a crow, which is indicator of doom and fear, has happened to send some snow dust down on the poet. The reason the crow dusted some particles of snow upon poet's head is not known, but one can guess that the crow might be preening its feathers. Here preening means it is used for birds, means tidy and clean its feathers with its beak. So the reason the crow dusted some particles of snow upon poet's head is not known, but one can guess that the crow might be preening its feathers with its beak, merely shaking, flying off, landing or readjusting its feet on a branch. Somehow a light dusting of snow is the result and it lands on the poet. Whether the dust of snow falls on to poet's head or down his neck is also unknown, because it's not mentioned by the poet in the poem, and also it's not really relevant to the poem. What matters is the way the crow makes it happen. Is that clear? Alright. Let's go through the first stanza of the poem. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. In the line, the way a crow shook down on me, here the word shook denotes that the crow was shivering in the snowy tree. The crow's action caused an unexpected fall of snow dust on the poet. Thus, you see that the first stanza flows into the second, which is the more intimate part of the poem, as the speaker begins to confirm a change of mood. The snow instantly makes him happier. His day gets a lot better. Thus, the supremacy of nature as a whole made him realize how petty his problem was. The fact that hemlock tree is poisonous combined with the crow, traditionally given a bad name as harbinger of doom and fear. Here harbinger means a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another. In Hindi we say सूचक या अग्रगामी. The fact that hemlock tree is poisonous combined with the crow, traditionally given a bad name as harbinger of doom and fear, becomes a catalyst for positive change. Here catalyst means something that causes an important event to happen. Alright. Now let's go through the second stanza. Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Here the poet, because of the snow dust falling on him, finds himself partially relieved. His day just got a whole lot better, the event somehow allowing him to see life from a different angle. Thus, the message conveyed through this poem is clear enough. The poet, through the objects like poisonous hemlock tree and crow, has tried to highlight that sometimes creatures linked with negative aspects of life can also bring positive change and happiness in life. Being outdoors in nature with all its unpredictability can benefit anyone, anywhere, at any time. Here unpredictability means inability to be predicted. In Hindi, asthirta. And relieved means bring or give relief to. Another similar words are given here: glad, thankful, grateful, pleased, happy, etc. Okay, now let's talk about the literary devices and rhyme scheme. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Students, you have to keep in mind that the poet has used here two agents of nature, the hemlock tree and the crow, which signify sadness and gloom. So question may be asked like this: what do the two agents of nature, the hemlock tree and the crow, signify in this stanza? So your answer will be like this: the two agents of nature, the hemlock tree and the crow, signify sadness and gloom. Okay, now let's see the literary devices and rhyme scheme. First of all, let's talk about the rhyme scheme. Here in the first stanza, the rhyme scheme is AB, AB, means first line rhymes with the third and second line rhymes with the fourth. For example, crow, snow, me, tree. Okay. In the second line of this stanza, shook down on me, here O sound is prominent and the poetic device that is used here is assonance. What is assonance? Let me tell you, when two or more words close to one another repeat the same vowel sound but start with different consonant sound is called assonance. Alright, in Hindi we say Swaravritti. Is it clear to you? Okay. And in the third line you see the dust of snow. Here the poetic device that is used is metaphor. It's a figure of speech in which a thing is regarded as representative or symbolic of something else. So here in the line dust of snow, here metaphor has been used. Alright, now let's go through the second stanza of this poem and try to find out literary devices and rhyme scheme. Okay. Second stanza is: has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Here rued means held in regret or to regret something which often cannot be undone, and saved means to rescue or keep safe. In this poem, the poet has used two negative references, hemlock tree and crow. So the question may also be asked like this: why has the poet used hemlock tree and crow? So your answer will be like this. Generally, hemlock tree and crow are used for negative references, but the poet has used them beautifully to portray that inauspicious things can bring joy and happiness too. Is that clear? Okay. Now let's discuss about the literary devices and rhyme scheme. So the rhyme scheme that the poet has followed in this stanza is like this: CD CD, which means fifth line rhymes with the seventh and sixth line rhymes with the eighth. Now let's talk about poetic devices. In the line has given my heart and saved some part, we find alliteration. The poetic device that is used in these lines has given my heart and in the line and saved some part is alliteration. In Hindi we call it anupras. Alliteration is derived from Latin word latera. It means letters of alphabet. It is a stylistic device in which a number of words having the same first consonant sound occur close together in a series. Next poetic device that we find in the poem is enjambment. The continuation of a sentence without a pause beyond the end of a line, couplet or stanza is called enjambment. In other words, enjambment is incomplete syntax. At the end of a line, the meaning runs over from one poetic line to the next without terminal punctuation. This poetic device has been used throughout the poem. Next one is synecdoche, and you see in the first line has given my heart. So the use of heart is here to represent the entire person. Alright. Synecdoche is a literary device in which a part of something represents the whole, or it may use a whole to represent a part. So the use of heart here represents the entire person, and the poetic device will be synecdoche. Alright. Okay students, now let's discuss some questions and their answers based on the poem that we have just discussed. So first question is, what is a dust of snow? What does the poet say has changed his mood? How has the poet's mood changed? Okay, so the answer of this question will be, dust of snow refers to a freckle of snow, the tiny particles of snow or the little white flowers that can be found on hemlock tree. The particles are so small that poet referred to them as dust. The poet was in bad mood, means was holding the day in regret when the dust of snow fell on him. This simple little thing, dust of snow, changed his mood from that of dismay to joy. Question number 2 is, how does Frost present nature in this poem? The following questions may help you to think of an answer. First question is, what are the birds that are usually named in poems? Do you think a crow is often mentioned in poems? What images come to your mind when you think of a crow? Let's see the answer. Robert Frost has presented nature in quite an unconventional manner. While in other nature poems we come across birds such as nightingales, peacocks or sparrows, Frost has used a crow in this poem. A crow can be associated with something dark, black and foreboding. In other words, crows are often seen as the indicators of doom and fear. They are often used for negative references. That is why other poets usually mention singing nightingales or beautiful white doves in their poems. Clear? Let's see next one. Second question is, Again, what is a hemlock tree? Why doesn't the poet write about a more beautiful tree such as a maple or an oak or a pine? Let's see the answer. The poet has written about a hemlock tree, which is a poisonous tree. He has not written about a more beautiful tree such as a maple or oak or pine, because these trees symbolize beauty and happiness. Frost wanted to symbolize the feelings of sadness and regret. That's why he has used a hemlock tree. Clear? Okay. Now, third question is, what do the crow and hemlock represent? Joy or sorrow? What does the dust of snow that the crow shakes off a hemlock tree stand for? Let's see the answer. Both crow and the hemlock tree represent sorrow. The negative creatures such as crow and the hemlock tree have been depicted as the carriers of positivism and strength that transformed poets' day for the better. The dust of snow that is shaken off the hemlock tree by the crow stands for joy that Frost experiences. He has therefore used an unconventional tree and bird in order to contrast them with joy in the form of snow. Is that clear? Alright. Now let's discuss some additional questions. Question number 1 is, identify the symbols used in the poem. So here crow symbolizes ugliness and hemlock tree symbolizes evil. Your answer will be crow and hemlock tree. Question number 2 is, what is the rhyme scheme of the poem? So the rhyme scheme of the poem is AB, AB, CD, CD. Question number 3 is, what is the turning point in the poem? Your answer will be like this. A small incident of snow falling on the poet changes his mood. He suddenly visualizes the beauty of nature around him and feels happy and relaxed. He feels grateful to nature as it has saved his day from being rude or wasted. Alright. Now question number 4 is, what do you learn from this poem? So the lesson that we learn from this poem is, depending on the circumstances, even negative things can create a positive effect in our life. Question number 5 is, what do the crow and the hemlock tree represent? Your answer will be, both the crow and the hemlock tree represent the dark, pensive, sorrowful and bitter side of nature. Crow is a black in color and has a very unpleasant, harsh voice. On the other hand, the hemlock is a tree with poisonous, bitter fruit. Question number 6 is, define the role of nature played in the poem. So nature plays a very important role in bringing a positive change in poet's life. When the crow shook down the dust particles on the poet, it changed his mood in a positive way. Question number 7 is, how was the poet feeling before the dust of snow fell on him? Your answer will be like this. Before the dust of snow fell on the poet, he was feeling sad. He was in a depressed mood. Okay. Now let's discuss some multiple choice type questions. Question number 1 is, how did the poet feel when the crow shook down the dust of snow on him? Option A, happy and excited. Option B, afraid and sad. Option C, bored and unhappy. And option D is anxious and confident. So your right choice will be A, happy and excited. Question number 2. Identify the figure of speech in shook down on me. Option A simile, option B metaphor, option C assonance, and option D personification. Here the correct poetic device used in this line shook down on me is assonance. So here option C will be correct, assonance. Question number 3 is the hemlock tree symbolizes option A sorrow, option B evil, option C bad mood, and option D all of these. So the hemlock tree symbolizes sorrow, evil, bad mood. So here option D will be correct, all of these. Alright, let's see question number 4. The effect of the fall of dust of snow on the poet was option A changed his behavior, option B changed his mood, option C removed all the laziness, and option D, option B and C are correct. So here option D will be right, option B changed his mood, and option C removed all the laziness, both are correct here. So as per the question, option D will be correct, option B and C. Alright. Now question number 5 is what was saved for the poet? Option A his whole day, option B remaining part of the day, option C his body and soul, and option D his energy. So your right option will be B, remaining part of the day. Okay, now let's see question number 6. The 4 elements in the poem are option A snow, maple, swallow, poet's mood, option B snow, oak, nightingale, poet's mood, option C snow, hemlock, crow, poet's mood, and option D snow, pine, tove, poet's mood. Here the right option will be C, snow, hemlock, crow, poet's mood. These are the 4 elements used in the poem. Alright students, now in the end of the today's video lecture, I would like to give you some assignment. So note down question number 1. Write the name of the poem and the poet. Okay. Question number 2. Imagine you are the poet. Write a letter to your friend about a small incident that changed the course of your life. Noted? Now question number 3. Have you experienced a change of mood where nature played the role of an agent for change? Now question number 4. Read the poem Dust of Snow and identify the literary devices used in the poem. Question number 5. What do you associate a crow and a hemlock tree with? And last question. What message is being conveyed by the poet through the poem Dust of Snow? Okay, now with this I would like to conclude today's video lecture, and I hope you would have liked the video. So please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Best of luck.